I know you all have heard, or maybe some of you have heard, there's a potential rule coming out in the NBA where it prevents players from load management. And, I'd say this is one of those things that could really hurt the Clippers in regards to their strategy going through this season, because load management is something that they use a lot, especially having Kawhi Leonard and Paul George there, because those two players tend to find themselves on the injury list more than actually being on the floor, as much as fans and other people would like to see them on the floor. So with the new rule coming out, there's a new rule coming out in regards to basically ceasing from the load management, or it has to be very, very limited throughout the season, because the NBA is looking at a lot of money that they're missing, a lot of money that they're losing, and a lot of ratings more than anything, even more than the money. The ratings are not as high as they usually are because of the load management and things like that, and the teams and star players taking off games that's nationally televised and things like that. So it would make a big difference with the Clippers in regards to that, because we all know that Kawhi doesn't take load management for granted. He does it because he's really actually hurt, and he's been hurt, throughout the years, and he's been nursing some injuries throughout the years. He's just been very fortunate to, be healthy at the right times in a lot of situations where it generated into a championship because of his talent, how great of a player he is when he is on the floor. So, the load management thing can definitely hurt the Clippers a lot, because like I said, they're going to have to, sever some games for Kawhi and PG, because they have to try to keep them upright during the season and maintain going into the postseason. Now, I think, building strength in your legs and your knees and your arms and all that stuff throughout the season is good, which is the reason why I think the 82 games is important, because not only you're building your body up for, the playoffs, you're building yourself up and you're keeping your body active to where it doesn't, get complacent and, less likely for injuries, and taking care of your body the right way and getting the proper rest and eating and all that goes along with it. But strengthening your body by being out there playing definitely doesn't hurt. And I understand that. And I've always been on board with that. I just know that Kawhi Leonard is a player that's always went through load management, not just because he wanted to. It was really because of injury. And a lot of people think Kawhi fakes his injuries not to play. I just think that's very stupid for a lot of people to think. But the media paints a picture. And if you're a follower, I guess that's what you're going to go by. And, unfortunately for whoever thinks that, Kawhi doesn't play. He doesn't pick and choose games. He really actually has injuries. He's had quad injuries and things like that, even way back in San Antonio days, that he probably still deals with. And knee injuries and things like that. He's just such a great player. A lot of people rather see him on the floor a lot more, of course, than not see him on it. And I'm definitely one of those people. But at the same time, it's his body. You got to understand, and they got to do what's best for their body and their health, just like Paul George and the rest of everybody else on the team does also. So, the load management thing, while I am on board with it, I definitely hate looking at, those nationally televised games that come on TNT and, ESPN, all that type stuff. And you look and you find out 10 minutes before the game, all the superstars not playing and the other superstar for other team is sitting out. And it's like these people paying their hard-earned money and they're not getting what they're paying for. They're paying to go see the superstar. They're bringing their children there and their family there to see the superstar go out there and perform at a high level and things like that. So I definitely get it. I definitely understand. And anybody that has that stance on this situation, I don't refute anything you say, because I definitely feel the same way. If I pay my hard-earned money, I want to see the best of the best players out there. I don't want to just see the role players on the bench and the third string guys on the bench that you never see in games. And now they're getting playing time on my watch, on my money, and on my time when I came there to see the superstars. So I definitely get it, and I'm definitely with you, and I definitely understand that if you think that, because I'm on board. We just have to understand that the severity of certain guys' injuries you can't overlook, and you can't look past it, because it could be something that is troubling that player that we don't know about, that the media doesn't put out there for us to know. So when you look at it from that standpoint, you gotta just kind of be you gotta play that give and take with that situation, because you really don't know. You really can't say. The only thing you could do really is speculate and say, oh well, yeah, this is this way, or yeah, you could say this is that way, or whatever the case may be. But if you don't really have no evidence, or don't know, specifically, you're just kind of just blowing smoke. You're just spectating. You're not really, coming up with a real analysis on the situation, or a real, fact about the situation. And With Kawhi, there's so much confusion, specifically on him, due to the fact that he was born in load management with Greg Popovich and the Spurs years ago, which is the reason why a lot of people think he fake injuries or don't want to play half the time, because the Spurs did it to where they actually made their players sit out with load management, even though they won't hurt, with Tony Parker, Ginobili, and all them. But a lot of people don't realize they were a lot older, and Greg Popovich, whether they were older or not, Greg Popovich came up with a strategy to win championships, not to just win in the regular season and be this dominant team in the regular season and go to the postseason and flop and choke it away. So a lot of people may look at it from that perspective, and I definitely get it. But I definitely think this load management thing could hurt the Clippers a little bit this season, especially Kawhi, because like I said, there will be some games that he'll have to sit out, and I'm pretty sure the Clippers are just going to take the fine or whatever comes with it if that's the case. But like I said, either way, the Clippers are trying to take this regular season more serious, what Ty Lue said in regards to talking to Kawhi and PG in the offseason. So by taking it more serious, we should see them play a lot more games anyway. So hopefully the load management doesn't affect them much, but I definitely could see how it would if the Clippers would have to result in more load managing type games for their star players because they can't stay healthy. But either way, let's see what happens. Let's see how it all unfolds, because it's definitely something that's going to point right towards the Clippers, especially if the rule gets actually put into effect. The media's going to make a whole lot out of it in regards to the Clippers and Kawhi and all that stuff, and it'll just be more, negativity thrown towards Kawhi's way and the Clippers and things like that. So, hopefully the Clippers just use all this as motivation and take it through the season and do what they got to do and maybe find their way, to the top. We'll see if that happens, but regardless, they definitely need to use this as motivation, because it seems like with the scheduling, not being in the Clippers' favor, them having more road games, and now this rule potentially coming out about load managing. I mean, it seems like it's all going against the Clippers. It seems like every rule is being thrown at or against the Clippers specifically. So I mean, this might be the toughest year for them to win a championship. So if they do it, that'd be great for the organization. But it's definitely going to be a tough one. But hey, leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think, and we talk about it.